had a girl that needed clothes for a job interview, so I picked her up. She got some clothes. I took her to her interview. She was like, I can't go. I have no clothes. I'm like, no, you're going.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. So it was good that she went through with it and got her interview done. And then, so we'll just come. And then this also dubs as like a safe place for women. We want to get like a couch and a lounge area for them to hang out and do laundry. We need a washer and dryer so they can like wash their things if they're staying in hotels. I'll pick them up, bring them here just to have like, a break or food. So we have a kitchen there, and then we also want to use this whole housing space for like a safe place for women. Instead of putting them into a hotel, they can come here. My name is Tracy Speers, and I am the director of After Hours Ministry.
And my name is Darryl Speers, and I am the lead planting pastor of Purpose LA Church. Really, Purpose LA Church came out of After Hours, really a group of us in the community. We were just a small group, and we felt the need to be missional in our community. And we began partnering in the city with different organizations and nonprofits. And one of them that really struck our heart was After Hours Ministry. And as we began to work in the community, there happened to be this church right down the street from us, a church that had a legacy in the community, but found itself after many years dying and ultimately ready to come to the point where they were going to shut their doors. We came to the church and we were sharing with them a little bit about what God was doing in the city. And they actually came to us and said, why don't you guys come here and plant a brand new church in North Hollywood? And that's really what led to us coming here, was just out of a heart for the community and what God was doing in the city. And so here we are, just after January 28th, we launched our very first service that really came out of a heart for the city, specifically human trafficking. Those women and children that are the most vulnerable in our city has really been the heartbeat of who we are as a church and the purpose of what we do. But it really started, coming out of a heart of what we do at After Hours Church.
Yeah.
Maybe share a little bit.
After Hours Ministry started 18 years ago by a prostitute who got saved and gave her life to Jesus. And she married a runner that works for the pimps, collecting money to make sure the women are safe on the streets. But these two, a man and a woman, got saved, gave their life to Jesus, and started going back to the ministry, started a ministry, went back to the streets and did outreach to women who were trapped in human trafficking and being prostituted on the streets. And so now I took over the ministry, and we give out gift bags to the women to let them know that they're loved and cared for. And we go out on Friday nights, and we just have been letting women know that they're cared for by Jesus.
I love one of the stories, Tracy, that you told about how after going down to the track is ultimately where the women are prostituted and trafficked down there. But I remember you talked about one of the nights when you pulled up, and women actually came running up to the van saying, we were praying that you guys were going to come tonight. And that's just such an amazing testimony of just how God is moving even in the most unlikely places, is that we spend our time praying for the women, but we end up finding out the women down there are actually praying that the Lord would send people to come and help. And it's just absolutely amazing to hear some of the stories of what God is doing. I think that takes us to even where we are now as an organization, as a church. It's tied so much to our heart, us, the way we grew up, and me growing up in much of my childhood, homeless, without a father, living in cars and tents and on the street, and being in those vulnerable places myself, and now being able to be a part on the other side of that, where really it's the church and Jesus that came in and helped rescue me as a wayward teenager, but now to turn around and be a part of what God is doing. One of the things we have really felt the Lord calling us to do as a church, and especially as After Hour Ministry, is know that it's difficult for them to get from where they are to where we are. And so we really feel the Lord is calling us to go into the city, to go meet them where they currently are. And that's what brought up the idea of the mobile drop-in center. And the mobile drop-in center really is a resource center. And here's the issue is things move. When people don't have a home, they don't have stability. When human trafficking is taking place, it's not always in one neighborhood and one street. It tends to move to avoid the police, to avoid the authorities, to avoid the normal population. And so it tends to float around. So that's where really the heartbeat, Tracy, where you came up with this idea of having a mobile drop-in center where we can go down there with resources. And one of the biggest resources is being a bathroom. You know, these women are down there throughout the whole night with no place to even use a restroom. When they have issues going on, any sort of needs they have, there's just no place because the public definitely turns them away.
Yeah.
But a mobile drop-in center that offers clothing, offers a safe place to sit down for a minute, counseling, and really one of our biggest hearts that the women said they would desire to have is HIV testing and STD testing, which they said they would love if they had the opportunity for those things in their life. And so to create a mobile drop-in center that we could take down and move it along with where it is currently happening. And
yeah, so we're grateful for the grant from MANA. Thank you for supporting us so we can buy this mobile drop-in center to service women that are in trafficking and offer them that STD testing and HIV testing for free.
And what a great next step. After Hours has been around for 18 years, and what they have typically done is offer gifts out there for just essential needs they have to really show the women that they're loved, they're not forgot about, they're prayed for, and ultimately to build trust with them. So they trust us enough to tell them that there's a better way and there's a different life for them. But doing that for 18 years, we really felt like what was the next step to help these women and going forward. And we think that this mobile drop-in center is going to open up doors that we've never experienced before to get into the hearts of these women out there that really have been not just forgotten about, but even shunned from the city, that don't understand what's truly happening in their lives. So, man, we are so thankful and grateful that we get to be a part of what God is doing, and for MANA for coming along, supporting us in this journey. Thank you guys so much.